Hi, everyone. Welcome to some sprints. I am so sorry. I am very late. I'm not just a little bit late, like I'm hours late. I had these sprints on my calendar and I was so ready to do them. And then I started studying for an exam that I have coming up and I lost track of time. And then my husband reminded me that I was supposed to be on sprints. So here we are. I'm joined by Debbie. She has her channel, BookAndBujo. Do you want to tell us a little bit about like what kind of books you like to read and all that?
I love fantasy, mainly. I read a little bit of everything. So my sister was an English lit major, so I have to read classics for her. But I like a little bit of everything, but mainly fantasy.
Yeah, fair enough. We are participating in Merry Bookmas. It is a season-a-thon, like I think it's maybe as an additional readathon added on to season-a-thon. And season-a-thon is hosted by Melanie over at the channel Completely Melanie. I did link both of their channels in the description of this if you want to go check that out. So you can go check out their channels as well, because they'll also be hosting sprints and different videos and activities throughout the month of December. But I also have an announcement video for it up on my channel as well, if you want to check that out to see like what it is. There are some prompts that go along with it, so you can kind of look into that and see if you want to try to follow some of those prompts. If you want to just participate in the sprints and the other activities that go with it, obviously you're more than welcome to do that as well. We know that December is kind of a crazy month. Apparently, I have made that clear by the fact that I forgot my own sprints. So, we get how it can go sometimes. But yeah, what are you currently reading?
So I am currently reading way too many things. So one of them is The Gathering Storm by Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson for the Wheel of Time read-along with Sandra from Got a Thing for Things.
Okay.
And I'm not very far into that one. And then I've also started A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon, which my TBR game rudely gave me in December.
That's a chunky one for it to just randomly give you.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I figured today would be a good day to start Saga Volume 7, because it's short. And I might actually be able to get through it.
Yes. So I think I read the first couple volumes of Saga, and I just wasn't super into it. But I liked the art style of it, and I liked the concept of it. I thought it was like a good concept, well written and stuff. It just wasn't like my style, but it is so popular. Like so many people love it.
Oh, so, yeah.
You have
it's super fun. I read them sporadically.
Yeah, to fit in between your more thick fantasy books. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally get that. I do that too. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, I figured we could kind of go through a little bit of the sprint or a little bit of the prompts for the readathon to kind of talk about maybe some books we might choose for it, or suggestions of books that we've already read to give to some people who are watching as well. So the first prompt is the Santa Claus read a book with a reluctant hero, which, I mean, you could always use Wheel of Time for that.
Oh yeah,
because like he did. Our hero in that one definitely did not want that role from the beginning.
Exactly.
There are some ups and downs of it throughout the series. I haven't read all of it, obviously, so I don't know everything, but we could definitely use it for that. I feel like this one's pretty easy if you're into fantasy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Any of the Percy Jackson series books is good if you like the more middle grade YA side. I read Accidental Ashes, which is the second book in the Zoe Myers series, because I needed an X for the alphabet challenge. Book that starts with an X.
That'd be a hard one.
But she's definitely a reluctant hero in that one.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, like The Realm of the Elderlings fits, right? Definitely you could throw that one in there. I feel like you could throw in Mistborn, right? Ben's a reluctant hero as well. Like there's a ton of fantasy ones that you could pick from. Yeah. I will admit I don't really know any non-fantasy ones, but I'm sure they exist if you want to go that route as well. But I probably will choose, I'm going to be reading Assassin's Fate in December, so that's probably the one that I'm going to end up using for it, unless of course I have to use it for something else. We shall see. That's kind of where I'm leaning at this point.
Nice.
Okay, Jingle All the Way. Read a book with a family dynamic.
Lots of these ones too.
Yeah, I was like, this one is, really, really common and super easy to fill. The one I think I'm actually going to use for it, do I have it around? I do, I have it right here, is The Phase Bride. This is a book my sister sent me, and it is an indie published book. And this one has a lot about the family dynamic in here because our main character is like the oldest of 5 sisters, I believe. And so she's kind of like, and her mom has some health issues. And so she's really in charge of like keeping her family together and taking care of her sisters. So I think that one's probably one that I will use for it. Yeah.
I'm reading I'll Be Home for Mischief. It's the 5th book in the Christmas Tree Farm series by Jacqueline Frost. It's kind of a sort of murder mystery. It's a cozy mystery.
Yeah.
That she goes home to live back with her parents they own a Christmas tree farm, and they do like their reindeer games and this huge Christmas thing. There's always a murder, and she's not a police officer or anything like that, but somehow she always gets in the thick of it. And yeah, they're really cute.
I think a lot of contemporary romances could probably fit into this one because I feel like families come into it a lot. Even if it's not focused on the family, they're often a very integral part of it. So that probably is something that you could use it for if you're more into those things. You could probably use some of the Stephen King's for the first one. That's true. Oh, speaking of which, my mom brought me a whole bag of books, and there were a bunch of Stephen King's in there. And 3 of them were like first edition hardcovers of his Dark Tower series, which I was like, that's really cool. I don't know if these are rare or not, but now I kind of want to get the whole series in those editions, which might be difficult. But you're right. Stephen King's, we could definitely pull in some for those. Like, have you read the one with 11/22/63? I think that's the name. The one with the JFK assassination.
Yeah, I haven't read that one.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was super good. Especially, I did audiobook, and I think audiobook's a good way to go. Yeah. But that one could fit in there too. Okay. I'll Be Home for Christmas. Read a book with a quest. Again, so many fantasy books can fit into this one. Like, they're everywhere, right? Quest fantasies. I might end up going with Wind and Truth for this one. Unless, of course, I need to use it for a different one. I feel like I have to like clarify that. But based on the ending of Rhythm of War, I'm assuming there's going to be a specific quest in there that is going to occur. And so I am thinking that I will end up using that one for it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm saving that one for January, especially with Gathering Storm and Day of Fallen Night. I'm like, my brain would be toast.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I had seen that Assistant to the Villains has a quest, but I read it, and there is some quests in there, but it's probably like, 2% of the book. So I'm like, I'm not going to count that.
If you don't have anything else, I totally would.
Yeah. I'm probably going to be rereading Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo, and that's totally a quest. So.
Oh, yeah. I feel like you could put quests in most fantasy books. Honestly, you can find a quest in there if you need to, because it's just like a fantasy staple. I'm reading The Wife Stalker by Liv Constantine. Wow, that sounds nice and creepy, which is fun for like the winter months by the fire when you actually feel safe, but you're reading creepy books. I like it. I support it. Okay. Elf, make your favorite holiday treat and share a picture of it on social media or the Discord. What is your favorite holiday treat?
I don't know. So I used to make Divinity, but it's been
Divinity.
So long since I've had it. I don't know if I even like it anymore.
It's so good, but it's like pure sugar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my mom used to make it all the time, and I just absolutely loved it. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Honestly, for me, I feel like probably just like hot chocolate. I know that's not like specific to Christmas, or peppermint mochas. Yeah.
I have peppermint mocha creamer in my hot chocolate.
Look at you doing all of mine in one go. Very good. So, I like your profile picture too. That is really cool. Okay. That one's easy. That one's easy to knock out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Die Hard, which we all can agree or disagree on whether that is a holiday movie or not, which is why the prompt is read a controversial or polarizing book, like a book that people seem to either hate or love, since some people are adamant Die Hard is a Christmas movie and others are adamant that it is not. Ooh, peppermint bark. That sounds really good. Anything peppermint. Anything peppermint, I am on board with. I absolutely love it. Okay. Polarizing book.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have one for this one yet. This is one that I'm probably going to be coming up with like in the last minute. What are you thinking you're going to read?
I have The Historian by
Okay.
Silva. I have to read this for some other prompts anyway, and I was reading a lot of people were very hit or miss on it, so
I could definitely, yeah.
I give it a try.
Gone Girl does count because I hated that book, but it's also one that some people absolutely love and it's their favorite thriller. So I would definitely say Gone Girl should count for that.
Yeah.
I think it's super polarizing too. Yeah, I haven't decided yet on which one I'm going to read for this. I don't have too many polarizing books that I'm super interested in reading at this time. So I'm probably going to have to find one and kind of like have it be that.
Yeah.
What are some polarizing books?
I was trying to remember the name. I read it last year and it was even narrated by Jeremy Irons. I was like, this is going to be amazing. And no.
You know what? Let me Google polarizing books. See what comes up.
I got to see. I want to say it started with an L.
Huh. The most polarizing books of all time. Goodreads actually has a list for this.
Mm-hmm.
The Da Vinci Code. Harry Potter, Twilight. Twilight would definitely. Lolita.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Lolita, that's the one.
I would totally believe that's polarizing.
Oh, yeah.
Animal Farm, The Catcher in the Rye. Oh, I hated that book.
Oh, yeah, me too. My niece loved it.
So I hated it so much. Oh, hey, my rating is 1 star. Yep. Green Eggs and Ham.
Yeah, that one's weird. I don't know why.
Why is that polarizing?
I don't know why that's on there.
That's so bizarre. The Lovely Bones. I can definitely see that. Let me see what else is on. Percy Jackson. I didn't know that one was polarizing.
Yeah, I don't know about that one either. The Book Thief I can see.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of yays and nays on it.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yeah, I get that. I didn't really love that one. The humor was just not my style. I'm trying to find one that might be interesting. 1984 might be an interesting one to try out. Yeah, there's a lot of Dr. Seuss on here. Why do people keep putting Dr. Seuss? Is that really so polarizing?
Well, I think Dr. Seuss, they feel he is not politically correct in his writing.
That's true. He's not. But is he in like Green Eggs and Ham? I guess I didn't. I haven't read it since I was a child. So
yeah.
That it might be, and child me might not have picked up on it, which is fair enough. But 50 Shades of Grey, totally get that.
Yeah. So yeah,
there's Historian. Hey, yours is on there. Artemis Fowl.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that one.
I loved that book when I was a
child.
Hunger Games, Divergent. Yeah. Huh. Some of these I don't get why they are on here.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I think a polarizing one for like recent maybe would be like Fourth Wing.
Oh yeah,
because
definitely
I had so many issues with that book, but people are like, this is the best fantasy book I've ever read in my life. I'm like, ooh, you read much fantasy?
Yeah, it was entertaining.
Yeah. From like, if you just kind of don't let your brain analyze it, totally fair. Mm-hmm. Like, I get that. Like, if you're just going in for the vibes and you just want like the romance and the vibes and stuff, that is also fine. Mm-hmm. But best fantasy book of all time, I'm going to have to say that's a no.
I mainly liked it because my niece has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and the main character has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was kind of fun.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I could see that one as a polarizing one. What else? When the Moon Hatched, I feel like was a little bit polarizing too. So like some of those helped my IQ. 1984 was required reading for me in 8th grade.
Whoa. I don't know about 8th grade. I don't know.
Grade.
I had to read Of Mice and Men in 9th grade.
I mean,
9th grade. I think it was 9th grade. No, it was 9th grade. And my mom saw that there was a bunch of bad language in it. So she told my English teacher I was not allowed to read it, which of course I had already finished the book. So I had to read The Black Pearl instead. So I had to read both books and I had to sit outside the classroom while they discussed the other one.
Oh my gosh, that's irritating. Well, have you read Catcher in the Rye? That thing is just like straight swear words.
Oh yeah.
I remember 9th grade me reading it and I'm like, what is happening? So like, I wasn't necessarily opposed to swear words in books, but it was like every other word.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, what is going on here? Okay. We got some good ones. It's a Wonderful Life. Read a book with alternate timelines or a time loop like The Midnight Library or Una Out of Order. I do not know what I'm going to do for this one because I've already read The Midnight Library.
Yeah, I've read that one. I read Leviticus, which the Dictates of the Servitude, I think. And then it's by Callan Summers. It's some self-published thing. It was actually really good. I was expecting to go into it just like, this is going to be me, but it was really good. I enjoyed it.
Interesting. Okay.
So sci-fi alternate timeline.
I know. I'm looking over on my bookshelf and I'm like, I actually don't know. And I feel like sometimes you don't really know until you've read them if they're going to have those because that's almost a spoiler sometimes.
Yeah.
So I really don't know what I'm going to use for that one.
The other one on my list is The Christmas Wish by Lindsay Kelk. It tells you that there's a time loop in it.
Okay, The Christmas Wish. Maybe I'll put that one on my list as a possibility because, I don't want to add a super thick book on for it because I don't know what my time's going to look like. Obviously, I'm missing my own sprints because I'm studying so much. So, like, my time is quite filled. But, okay.
It's a 10-hour audiobook.
Yeah, I can do that. Okay. Sounds good. Then we have Nightmare Before Christmas. Read a spooky or spoopy book. Okay. This one is easy to do, I think. There's a lot of spooky books out there. I haven't decided yet, almost because it is so easy, and so I can kind of see what mood I'm in to slide that one in. Oh, is that your puppy?
Yeah. He loves to bark.
Let him bark. I don't care. That's so cute. Doesn't bug me at all.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. I read The Holiday Haunting at the Biltmore by Eva Poehler, and that was adorable.
Adorable and spooky?
Yes. Yeah. So it's like 50-year-old women in this group that are like ghost hunters. So they go and they try and let ghosts pass on and maybe help solve their issues and things like that. And it's Christmas and her son is getting married and at the Biltmore, and they find all these ghosts at the Biltmore and have to either help them out or help them pass on or whatever. It was very cute.
You have a lot of Christmas suggestions. I'm very impressed. I rarely read Christmas around Christmas time, but so I have no Christmas suggestions. I think the only one I've ever read was the one where she gets stuck in A Christmas Carol. What is it? Like, she's not necessarily stuck in it, but they have a different Scrooge every year.
I don't know if I've read that one.
It was good. I enjoyed it, but it's one of the only Christmas ones that I've really read. Darcy Coates would work for spooky. Okay. Maybe I'll try that one out. Yeah, I really think this is what I'm going to save because I do have some T. Kingfisher books also that I have been wanting to read for a while. And I feel like T. Kingfisher books always work for this pretty much, even if they're not focused on that, because she does kind of like the cozy horror a lot too. So that's probably the route I'm going to go. I'm just not positive yet.
The Raven and the Reindeer is really good.
Is that T. Kingfisher?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of the first ones I read of hers. It was really good.
You have such great suggestions. This is great. I'm just like, you're gonna have to watch this video back and write down so I can remember everything. Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably the route I'll go just because I love her and I feel like her books go so fast for me and I have such a good time with her. It's probably the route I'll go on it. Which one do you think you're gonna? Oh wait, you already did it.
Yeah, The Haunting at the Biltmore. Yeah, it's actually the 8th book in the series. It's the only one I've ever read in the series. I don't think you need to
just read out of order.
Read the rest of them. But now I'm interested in kind of going back and seeing some of the other ones because the ladies are all hilarious. They're pretty funny.
Okay, Charlie Brown Christmas. Go to a local holiday concert or a tree lighting. So, I do not know if this is going to happen for me.
Yeah.
But I might just go look at lights.
Yeah.
And count that one because I don't really know when tree lightings occur or if we really even have them around here. But we do have like lights out because and so maybe I think I might just walk around and look at.
Nice. Ours was this past Saturday. So Prescott, Arizona, we're the Christmas city. So we always have this big, huge thing, and they block off most of downtown, and it's crazy. My husband, we forgot about it. My husband went to go get his dinner because I had a concert that afternoon, and he got trapped for like an hour.
I bet when they have events in like downtown Salt Lake, you don't want to go in downtown Salt Lake either. Mm-hmm. So I get it. You're just like, no. Yeah, there's a lot of lights. I don't think it's quite as much anymore because they're doing construction, but Temple Square in Salt Lake will get a lot of lights. And so I can go walk those. That's probably what I'll end up doing and counting it. I read one Christmas book called The Christmas Morning Massacre. It's like a slasher type book. A Christmas slasher? That actually sounds awesome. You read it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You've read like every Christmas book. How is this a thing?
It was a free one on Kindle at one point, and yeah, it was pretty funny. It follows the whole 80s slasher vibes.
I love that. Kind of like My Best Friend's Exorcism.
Yeah. It's Nasser Rabdi, I think, was the author.
Dang, look at you go. I'm impressed. You know many things.
I just keep lots of lists.
I should. I need to. My husband actually gets on me for it. He's like, I don't know what books you have because you don't keep lists. I'm like, sorry. Okay, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Read a book with a grump finding love. Okay. So this is like the grumpy sunshine trope. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's everywhere in books. You could pull it out like People We Meet on Vacation, I know has that trope. The grumpy sunshine one. Other than that, though, honestly, I don't read a lot of romances. Mm-hmm. I'm not good at that, like that genre. If you want suggestions in that one, I'm really not wonderful in it. But I think if you also read like A Man Called Uwe, isn't that also like a grump? And I don't think he necessarily finds love in it, but he finds like community and like a family type thing. So I bet you could count that one as well.
Yeah, I haven't read the book, but I watched the Tom Hanks version of the movie, and it was really good.
Okay.
I would say it definitely would work.
Yeah, I think so. Because I think that was the first one that came to mind at that prompt, but I was like, that's not actually the completely correct prompt.
I think it still works because he finds a heart, so, right?
I think so. Like he finds like a community, a found family, like a group of people. So
that could work for the family dynamic one too, I think.
That's probably true. Yeah. What one are you doing for that one, or have you decided?
The Mistletoe Switch by Catherine Sadler. It's the first book in the Yuletide series.
Okay. I've actually heard of that series. I haven't read anything from it, though. But let me see. Grumpy Sunshine Trope Books. Love Hypothesis. Yes. Beach Read. I can see it, but I would think more People We Meet on Vacation was, like, in my opinion. The Soulmate Equation, The Fine Print. Yes, that's definitely Grumpy Sunshine. I see it. Oh, Icebreaker. That one's super popular. Super popular. The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, also really popular. Okay, so there's a lot of romance books you can do for this one. Like this one is pretty much a romance book one. Now I want to get the rest of the books that come after the Christmas Morning Massacre.
I think the other one I read was Return to Camp Solgahachia. And that one was pretty funny too. It's more like it's like summer camp kind of slasher.
These sound really entertaining.
Yeah, it's the Ravenhill Butcher series, I think.
Oh my goodness. That's so funny. I would never think of, you see the spoof movies, right? Like Scary Movie and stuff, but I can see that being fun. Okay. Polar Express, read a polar fantasy. So this one, I did give a suggestion of a channel to go to if you want some suggestions on this. It's JD Ray Reads. Jade is the one who does the channel. I haven't watched her channel in a long time. I haven't watched many channels in a long time because I've been super busy. But she used to give polar fantasy recommendations all the time. So I'm sure she has some up there. She did like a whole readathon just focused on polar fantasy. So you can definitely get some suggestions there. But if Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik is a really great polar fantasy. Frostheart, is that what it's called? The middle grade one. That's also a really good polar fantasy if you want to check that one out. But there's quite a few out there. I think like The Bear and the Nightingale you could use for polar fantasy as well. Love that series. It is so good. Do you have any good suggestions in that area?
I actually just finished The Winter of the Witch, which is the third book in the Winter Night series. Yeah. Love that one. Love that one. Yeah.
That series is amazing.
Yeah, I haven't read a whole lot of the polar fantasies recently, so none of them really come to mind. But yeah, JD Ray Reid has a ton of them. She hasn't really been doing it recently. She mainly just does some vlogging now.
Gotcha.
But yeah, if you go back to any December, January, February videos of hers.
Yeah, definitely. She has a lot of suggestions on there. So if you're struggling to find one or you want to find one that's maybe like shorter or more speaks to you, that's where I would suggest to go get ideas from. This is another one that I haven't decided which one I'm going to read, and I'm kind of waiting to see how my December plays out and like what is speaking to me that might fit into it.
Ooh, what do you currently reading? Had anything else? Oh, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see that.
The Raven and the Reindeer also, because there's a lot of snow in that one. Winter Song duology by S.J. Jones. That one would work too. And Winter's Promise by Christelle Dabo.
Oh, yes. I have read Winter's Promise. Oh, what was the other one that Winterwood? Is that what it was called? I don't even remember. It was, I'm not positive, but I'm going to have to look it up. I am so bad with like remembering things at this point. I think it's called Winterwood.
Caramel macchiato sounds delicious.
Yes, it is called Winterwood by Shay Earnshaw. That one could also count for it too. And that one's a really quick read. It's like a YA thriller with some fantasy elements thrown in there. So
nice.
That one's really fast if you want to try that out. I'm currently reading Death by Caramel. Oh, that's the same one as like Death by Coffee, I think. I think you've suggested this one before, and I have it on my list. Like it's literally in my list to read, and I think it's on Kindle Unlimited. If you want to check it out there as well, because I also have that one in there. I think I have it also on my Everand too.
Nice.
Which is the new name for Scribd, for those of you who don't know. Okay. A Christmas Carol. Read a book about second chances. So I do think that so many books can fit into this, and it's sometimes hard to know until you've actually read them. At least that's kind of like my opinion on this one, because it is such a common trope, right? To have these like people who like got down on their luck, but now this is like their chance to be redeemed type thing. Like sometimes you don't know ahead of time what's going to include that.
Yeah.
What do you think you're going to go with for that one?
I have Snowflakes and Second Chances by M. Tate.
It literally has it in the name.
Yeah. That's why I picked it.
Like, I know this one will count. I know it'll count.
Exactly.
I might go with Warlords of Weirdwood for this one. Because it's kind of like second chances. It's like reluctant second chances, right? Where things did not go well the first time, and this person did not want to be disturbed and have a second time, but the second time like came anyway type situation. So I might go with that one. Dickinson would work for that. Okay. Oh yeah, Emily Dickinson. Have to sneeze, but it's like not actually sneezing. I'm trying to get this through the Red Scrolls of Magic, not a Christmas book or for any challenge.
It's good though. It's really cute.
You should. Let me see. Red Scrolls. Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. I thought this was the one that had Wesley Chu as the co-author. I was at Dragonsteel this last weekend, and Wesley Chu was there.
Nice.
Books. Super nice guy, like really, really nice person. I would definitely recommend buying his books and supporting him if you like his stuff, because he's actually like a really nice guy. So
nice.
Yeah. Okay. And then The Dog Days of Christmas. Read the group book Pupcakes by Annie England Noblin. I actually went and found that one, and I am going to be able to get it from my library. They have it, the ebook for it.
Nice.
So that's what I'm planning on doing. And I thought that I would probably read it closer to the time that we were going to be talking about it with the author, because then it's a little bit fresher in my mind. But what about you? Have you read it yet?
No, I'm saving that for the end. Yeah. My library has the audiobook. So
yeah, mine I think has both. Oh, my phone's like way over there. Just a sec. Got it. Let me see. Yeah, I know we have one at least.
Yeah, it's right about 10 hours, so not too bad.
Yeah, and I really think that this is one that probably don't need the actual physical book to read. I bet the audiobook is a really good way to go with this one. It just seems like it. Pupcakes. Okay. Okay. Well, I just borrowed it. But yeah, I figured closer to the time of the actual discussion so that I remember it better, because December is going to be crazy. And if I read something now, I might not have, my brain might not retain it. I have a lot of studying to do, so could definitely be like shoved out in place of other things.
What are your finals?
So my school is arranged a little bit differently, where I can kind of take it at a like range of time, right? It just has to be like within that time. So I should take it sometime next week, but I don't know. The way it kind of works is like, it might be next week or like be pushed back. I don't know. My school is an online one, and it's not like it's more work at your own pace type thing. And so you can move things around a little bit. So like if things do work out well for it, I will take it next week. But if some things come up, it might end up being pushed till after Christmas. So hopefully next week. After Christmas would be stressful, but I could make it happen. It'd be fun. I don't really have any Christmas plans for this year, so
nice.
Shouldn't be too bad. Okay, sorry. Struggling with it. Some TMJ issues, so it's been hard to read. Oh, I'm sorry. That does not sound fun.
No.
Hopefully you feel better. Right? I know. I'm just
like, yeah. I'm a clencher, so I understand.
Yeah. Nope, I totally get it. Hope you feel better. It is hard to read and concentrate on books when you're feeling icky. I get it. I remember as a kid, I used to read when I was sick all the time. And now when I'm sick, I'm just like, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah, too much stimulation.
That's so true. Do you have any fun plans for Christmas?
Not really. I've had 3 concerts already. I've got 3 more next week. And then in Prescott, we have this thing called Acker Night. And it's the last name of a family that donated a bunch of money, and they do scholarships for kids. And so it's just, you go around to every store that's downtown area, and there's a different group singing, playing, whatever in each of them. And it's all in one night. And so we're planning to do that. And that's tomorrow night.
Wow.
I've participated in it twice. It's a long night. When you're singing or playing or whatever.
It sounds like it.
But it's
exhausting for the performers, but really fun to go to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard if you don't know what's happening. You're like, oh, let's go downtown and go to one of these restaurants. Yeah, no, you ain't getting in.
Oh, my gosh, that would be crazy. You're just like, oh, yeah, let's go for a fun night out, not realizing. I've had that like when people will be at downtown in like the area I'm in when it's like Mormon General Conference. So like, what is happening? I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah, no, you don't want to be here the next 2 days. Like it's gonna be a mess. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Oh, okay, kind of went through the list. I honestly am not reading a book right now, which is crazy. I haven't had this for a while. I have a couple that I like I started a while back, but I'm like not reading them actively right now because I had Dragonsteel this last week, and the week leading up to it, I was hanging out with a friend who came over from England to go to it. So I really just haven't had a lot of reading time, and then I worked this week leading up to today, so I'm not reading a book right now. So I'm kind of trying to decide what I'm going to jump into. And you have like multiple books going on.
I usually have 3 books going at a time, usually something on my Kindle, a physical book, and an audiobook. So depending on where I am, what I'm doing.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I usually have at least a physical book and an audiobook. But sometimes it's the same book. Sometimes I'm like reading and audiobooking the same book. So that happens quite frequently too. What are you reading? The Lion's Den by Catherine St. John. Nice. Love it. Okay. Well, we could do just like one reading sprint, and then call it an afternoon. And I can go pick out which book I'm going to read and spend a little bit of time reading. How's that sound?
That works.
What book are you going to read during the sprints? Or are you going to film some?
I may finish filming, or I may just start Saga.
Nice. You probably could finish Saga during some sprints.
That's what I was thinking.
Fast read. Okay, awesome. Let's do that. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to edit this banner here. Sprinting until, let's go ahead and sprint till 10 till the hour. So that way we'll have 10 minutes to just kind of like chat, wrap it up. Okay, sounds good. I'm going to pick out a book, and then I'll be back. Hey.
Hi.
So I decided to start reading the Fae's Bride, and I made it to page 46. So got through a little bit.
Nice.
How about you?
About just over halfway through.
Nice.
So, and I finished filming, so
good. Had a productive sprint then. Oh. Is it cold where you're in Phoenix? It's not too bad down there, right? Or Phoenix
Prescott. So we're usually about 20 degrees cooler.
Okay.
Yeah, today is a high of 57, so not too bad.
That's pretty nice, actually. It's kind of pleasant. You could just put on a sweater and it'd be adequate and warm. I like that. I was actually just down in Arizona. I went to the Grand Canyon. My friend from England said that was one thing she wanted to do. So I was like, I can do that. We can drive to the Grand Canyon. So we went down there. It was pretty fun.
Nice. Yeah. So beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. I've been there a couple times. So we went to the South Rim, of course. But when I went there before, I went to Havasupai.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much my only times going to Grand Canyon. So yeah.
Have you been to the Painted Desert or the Petrified Forest?
I haven't.
Yeah, they're about an hour away, I think. Yeah, but they're pretty cool. The Painted Desert is beautiful.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure in Utah you guys probably have a little bit of that there too.
Yeah, we do. We have the Wave, and I mean, I think the Wave might potentially like kind of cross over partially into Arizona. It's right on the border, so I don't know how much of it's in Utah and how much of it's in Arizona. I just know like the starting point is in Utah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I grew up in Page, so that's like right on the border.
Yeah,
you used to be able to stand. I'm in Utah now. I'm in Arizona. I'm in Utah.
Yeah, we actually stayed in Page because we went down and then we hiked. I don't know if you've done Wire Pass. So it's a slot canyon, and it goes into Buckskin Gulch, which is like a really long slot canyon. She wanted to go down to see those because they were what inspired the chasms in the Stormlight Archive.
Nice.
So went down to do that. And then, of course, there's that spot as you're driving out of Page down towards the Grand Canyon that looks like the Shattered Plains, right? So we stopped and took pictures there and stuff. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, well, this was fun, and I'm glad that you were able to join for a little bit. I'm surprised you stayed on. I'm impressed. If I were you, I would message me and be like, "Where are you? What is going on?" You're just politely waiting. I love it.
I figured, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna hop off. I'm like, oh, it's almost to the hour, so maybe you just misheard the time, and so I was like, I'll just stay on, and then I just got busy doing other stuff and
forgot about it. No, I also got busy doing things and forgot about it. So, but I'm glad we got to go through the prompts. It was fun, and I got some ideas that might be helpful. So,
yeah.
Okay, well, thank you everyone who joined, and we will see you later. Bye.
Bye.